Hey there, American Healthy Habits family. May is the month that separates successful gardens from disasters. Skip these 9 tasks in May, and here's what happens. Tomatoes fall over in June. Gardens dry out by July, pests explode in August, and by September, the garden is a total mess. But do these 9 easy tasks right now in May, the garden practically runs itself all summer. Less watering, fewer problems, way more vegetables. These aren't complicated. Most take 20 minutes or less, but the timing is critical. Do them in May or regret it when it's too late to fix. Let's dive in. Mulch everything. First task, mulch everything. Right now, before summer heat arrives. Here's what mulch does. It keeps soil cool, retains moisture, and suppresses weeds. In May, the soil is still moist from spring rains. Mulch locks that moisture in. Wait until June or July when the soil is already dry. That moisture is gone. And mulch can't bring it back, it can only keep what's already there. Use 2 to 3 inches of mulch around vegetables, flowers, shrubs, everything. Wood chips, shredded bark, straw, whatever's available. Just keep it a few inches away from plant stems to prevent rot. Here's the math. Mulch now in May saves hours of watering later. Gardens without mulch need watering every 2 to 3 days in summer. Mulched gardens, once a week, maybe less. Mulch also prevents weeds from germinating. Bare soil in May becomes a weed jungle by June. Mulched soil, almost no weeds all summer. This one task, 30 minutes of spreading mulch in May, saves hours of work every week for the rest of the growing season. Don't skip this one. Set up irrigation. Second task, set up irrigation systems now, while there's time to do it right. By July, when plants are desperate for water, it's too late to install drip lines or soaker hoses without disturbing root systems. May is perfect. Plants are small, beds are accessible, and there's time to test the system before the real heat hits. Soaker hoses work great for vegetable gardens. Lay them between rows, cover with mulch, connect to a timer. Water goes straight to roots, nothing wasted on leaves or evaporation. Drip irrigation is even better if there's budget for it. Precision watering exactly where plants need it. Even a simple setup beats hand watering all summer. Hand watering takes 30 to 45 minutes daily in peak summer. An irrigation system on a timer? Set it and forget it. Here's the key. Test the system now in May. Make sure water reaches all plants evenly. Fix any dry spots or leaks while it's easy. Come July, when temperatures hit 95 degrees Fahrenheit, there's no energy to troubleshoot irrigation problems. Get it working perfectly in May. Stake tomatoes and peppers. Third task, stake tomatoes and peppers right now, while they're small. Here's the mistake most gardeners make. They wait until plants start flopping over. Then they try to lift heavy branching plants and shove stakes in without breaking stems or damaging roots. It's a mess. Stems break, roots get damaged, plants go into shock. Do it in May when plants are 12 to 18 inches tall. Takes 5 minutes per plant. Stakes go in easily without hitting roots. Plants tie up gently without stress. Use 6-foot stakes for tomatoes. They'll grow taller than expected. 4 feet for peppers. Push stakes 8 to 12 inches into the ground, about 3 to 4 inches from the stem. Tie plants loosely with soft ties or strips of cloth. As they grow, add more ties every 8 to 10 inches up the stake. Staked plants get better airflow, fewer diseases. Fruit stays off the ground, no rot. Harvesting is easier, everything's visible and accessible. Unstaked tomatoes? They sprawl across the ground, fruit rots, diseases spread, and half the crop is lost. 5 minutes per plant in May prevents total disaster in July. Deadhead Spring Bulbs. Fourth task, deadhead spring bulbs, but leave the foliage. Tulips, daffodils, hyacinths. The flowers are done by May. Those dead flower heads are ugly, and they're draining energy from the bulb. Snip off the spent flowers. This stops the plant from making seeds and redirects energy back into the bulb for next year's blooms. But here's critical. Do not cut the foliage. Those green leaves are still photosynthesizing, making food, storing energy in the bulb. Cut the leaves too early? Next year's blooms will be weak or non-existent. The bulb doesn't have enough stored energy. Leave the foliage until it turns completely yellow and falls over on its own, usually 6 to 8 weeks after flowering. Yes, it looks messy. Plant annuals in front to hide it. This is the price of beautiful spring bulbs next year. Deadhead the flowers in May, tolerate the foliage through June, get gorgeous blooms next spring. Skip this step? Bulbs get weaker every year until they stop blooming entirely. Succession plant cool season crops. Fifth task, Succession plant cool season crops one last time before summer heat shuts them down. Lettuce, spinach, radishes, arugula, these bolt and turn bitter once temperatures stay above 75 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit consistently. In most areas, late May is the absolute last chance to plant these and get a harvest before summer heat arrives. Plant now, harvest in 3 to 4 weeks before the real heat hits. Skip it, and there's no fresh salad greens until fall. Direct sow seeds in a shaded area if possible. North side of taller plants under a shade cloth anywhere that gets relief from afternoon sun. Water consistently to keep soil cool. These crops need steady moisture in late spring. This is the end of the cool season window. Once June arrives, focus shifts entirely to heat-loving crops. But May offers one last chance to squeeze out spring harvests. A 10-minute planting session in late May provides fresh greens for the next month. Fertilize heavy feeders. Sixth task. Fertilize heavy feeders now that they're actively growing. Tomatoes, peppers, squash, cucumbers, melons. These are hungry plants. They need nutrients to produce all that fruit. May is when these plants transition from just growing leaves to setting flowers and fruit. That's when they need a nutrient boost. Use a balanced fertilizer or compost tea. Side dress around plants, scratch it into the top inch of soil, water it in well. For tomatoes specifically, too much nitrogen creates huge plants with no fruit. Use a fertilizer lower in nitrogen, higher in phosphorus and potassium once flowers appear. Here's what happens without fertilizing. Plants grow slowly, produce fewer flowers, fruit is small and sparse. The harvest is disappointing. Fertilize in May when growth kicks into high gear. Plants explode with production. More flowers, bigger fruit, longer harvest season. This doesn't mean fertilizing every week. One good feeding in May, maybe another in midsummer, that's it. But skip it entirely? The difference in harvest is dramatic. Monitor for pests. Seventh task. Start monitoring for pests now before populations explode. May is when most garden pests wake up and start reproducing. Aphids, cucumber beetles, squash bugs, hornworms, they're all starting their cycles. Catch them early when there's just a few. Easy to control. Handpick, spray with water, use organic controls. Ignore them in May, notice them in July when populations have exploded. The garden is destroyed and it's nearly impossible to recover. Walk through the garden every few days, check undersides of leaves, look for chewed holes, sticky residue, tiny eggs. For many pests, early detection is the only effective control. Squash vine borers, for example. By the time the plant wilts, it's too late. But catch the adult moths laying eggs in May, remove the eggs, and prevent the problem entirely. This isn't about spraying chemicals. It's about awareness. Know what pests target which plants. Check those plants regularly. Take action when populations are tiny. 10 minutes of monitoring twice a week in May prevents total crop loss in summer. Thin seedlings. Eighth task, thin seedlings ruthlessly. Gardeners hate this one. It feels wasteful to pull up healthy seedlings. But overcrowding is worse. Carrots, beets, lettuce, beans, whatever was direct sown in April or early May is probably overcrowded now. Plants competing for space, water, and nutrients all produce poorly. Thin them to proper spacing and the survivors thrive. Carrots need 2 to 3 inches between plants. Beets need 3 to 4 inches. Lettuce needs 6 to 8 inches. Check the seed packet for specific spacing. Here's the rule. It's better to have 10 well-spaced plants producing heavily than 30 overcrowded plants producing nothing. Thin when seedlings are 2 to 3 inches tall. Snip with scissors at soil level rather than pulling. Pulling disturbs roots of neighboring plants. Yes, it feels wrong to remove healthy plants. Do it anyway. The harvest from properly spaced plants is 3 to 4 times larger than overcrowded ones. This is a May task because seedlings are still small. Wait until June when plants are larger and root systems are intertwined. Thinning causes massive damage. Water deeply, not often. Ninth task, start deep watering now to train strong root systems for summer. Here's the biggest watering mistake. Light, frequent watering. A little bit every day or every other day. This creates shallow roots. Plants become dependent on constant watering. Miss a day in summer and they wilt. Deep watering, soaking soil 6 to 8 inches deep, then letting it dry somewhat before watering again, trains roots to grow deep. Deep roots access moisture that shallow roots can't reach. Plants become drought tolerant. They can handle heat waves and missed waterings. In May, water deeply 1 to 2 times per week depending on rainfall and soil type. Let the top inch of soil dry between waterings. Check soil moisture by sticking a finger 2 to 3 inches down. If it's moist, don't water. If it's dry, water deeply. This is about training plants now for the stress they'll face in July and August. Shallow-rooted plants watered daily in May will demand daily watering all summer and die during heat waves. Deep-rooted plants trained in May will cruise through summer with minimal watering. Start the habit now. Water deeply, water less often. What happens if these get skipped? Here's what happens when these 9 May tasks get skipped. No mulch. The garden needs watering every other day by June and weeds take over. No irrigation setup. Hand watering for 45 minutes daily all summer. No staking. Tomatoes sprawl, fruit rots, stems break from weight. No deadheading bulbs. Next spring's blooms are weak or absent. No succession planting. No fresh greens until fall. No fertilizing. Tiny harvest from nutrient-starved plants. No pest monitoring. Infestations destroy entire crops. No thinning. Overcrowded seedlings produce almost nothing. Shallow watering. Plants wilt and die during the first heat wave. These aren't optional tasks. They're the foundation for a successful summer garden. Do them in May, when there's time and energy, or spend all summer fighting problems that could have been prevented. Those are the 9 easy May tasks that make or break the summer garden. They're not complicated, most take less than 30 minutes, but the timing is critical. May is when summer gardens are built. Do these tasks now, and the garden runs smoothly all season. Skip them, and it's constant damage control from June through September. Don't regret it in July. Do it now in May. If this helped, hit that subscribe button. Next month, the June garden tasks will be covered. See you then.